Before starting any project, it's necessary to check the unit setup settings. If you're working on a big scale project, it's always better to use meters, but for this project, which is a small interior scene, I'm going to use centimeters. And I need to make sure that my display unit scale and system unit scale are using the same unit, like centimeters here. Alright, first of all, I'm going to import my CAD file, which is this one. The unit in my AutoCAD file was centimeters, so I'm not going to touch this, and I need both of these layers, so let's just hit OK and start the project. As you can see, this is a pretty simple plan. I have a very big window over here that could illuminate the whole room, but I'll show you how to do that with artificial lights as well. I have a sofa over here, a TV unit, dining table, and this is small kitchen. To begin with, let's start with the walls. With the line tool, I'm going to draw a line all around the plan. Just don't forget to put a vertex on each side of the openings. Now I need to do the same thing with inner lines also. Alright, let's isolate these two lines and attach them together. Now I need to add an extrude modifier to that with a height of 270 centimeters. Or maybe 300 centimeters would be better. Okay, for the openings, first I need to add an editable poly on top of the extrude modifier. Then I need to add a segment over here which indicates the height of the doors. Now let's move them all the way up to 220 centimeters on the z-axis. I need another segment over there for the window, but this time I need a height of 260 centimeters. Now in order to open these areas, I need to select both polygons in the front and back and just hit the bridge in the edit polygons rollout. Okay, I don't need these polygons, so let's just delete them, and I'm going to repeat the process for my window also. Okay, I'm done with the walls. Let's start with the ceiling by drawing a line all over the plan, but this time I don't need to put any extra vertices for the openings. I need 270 centimeters of height for this room, so let's move it down a bit to here. Now I just need to add an extrude modifier on top of it to 30 centimeters. Now to add the floor, I'm going to need another line also, but since the wooden floor will continue under the doors and the window, I need to include these areas in my line also. Alright, now let's move it down all the way to the floor and add a floor generator modifier to it. This modifier is already built into 3ds Max 2020, but I will put the download link into the description in case you're using older versions of 3ds Max. Okay, now let's tweak the values a little bit. I need 150 centimeters for length and 20 centimeters for width. There's no need for any gaps between our planks, so I'm going to put 0 over here. Half a centimeters for extrude and 1 millimeter for bevel would be good. Okay, as you can see, we have the walls, floor, and ceiling. For the next step, I'm going to model these cabinets. Okay, to begin with, I need to detach these cabinets from the rest of this plan. I'm going to detach these two elevations from each other as well. Now in order to align the elevation on the z-axis, I need to move the pivot to the bottom part of each of them. Then let's make sure that these elevations are located at the center point of the 3ds Max workspace. Now I can align them on the z-axis with the rotate tool. Okay, let's start with the kick plate. I'm going to create a box in the front view, then convert it to editable poly and adjust the depth of it by moving the vertices based on my layouts. Or the other way that I could do that is to start in the right view and adjust the length of it in the front view. Now I'm going to repeat the whole process with each part of the cabinets. Okay, for the handles, I need to draw the profile with the line tool and then extrude it. But remember, if you want to create something in two-dimensional views, it's always practical to use 2.5 snap tool. Now I just need to copy this handle for rest of the doors and drawers and continue with the rest of the cabinets. Okay, in order to put the oven and microwave in here, I need to make a negative extrude. I'm going to do that by going to the right view and slice the box with the quick slice tool. After that, I just need to select this polygon and extrude it inside. For the backsplash tiles, I'm going to use a floor generator modifier again. Let's draw a rectangle or a plane over here and move it all the way to the back. Now I can add the floor generator modifier on top of it. Let's start with 11 by 11 centimeters. There's no need for any gaps or offset, and 2 millimeters of extrude and 1 millimeter of bevel would be good enough. Now I could gently change these values to fit all the tiles that I have in this area. Okay, it seems like there's a problem over there. Let's fix that. Okay, looks good. Now let's select all the cabinets to where they are supposed to be. Alright, just don't forget that for getting better results in rendering, we always need to avoid sharp edges, cause you could get a very nice and smooth specular on the edges if you just make a small chamfer. So I'm going to select everything and chamfer the edges around 0.5 millimeter. Let's do the same thing for the handles as well, cause that would be very useful in close-up shots also. We're done with the modeling. Now we can add some furniture and accessories to the scene. Alright, as you can see, I have already merged all the objects into a new file, and I'm going to merge this into the main file. Let's start with the window. I'm going to align this corner to the corner of the opening that I already have. I'm going to put everything on top of the wooden floor because I don't want to miss any details in my final renders. Now let's move it all the way up to here, and I need at least 2 more copies of this window, but instead of copy I'm going to use symmetry modifier. As you can see, there's a gap over here which I could fill it with FFT modifier. Okay, now let's put this door into its place. I also need to stretch it a bit to fill the whole area over here, and for that okay, let's draw a plane over here to use it as a helper so I could align the lights to the middle of the ceiling. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the kitchen as well. In order to see all the details inside the halogen lights, I need to make some holes in the ceiling where my lights are. And I can do that by adding some circles around my lights as the first step. Then let's isolate the circles and the ceiling together and detach the bottom polygon of the ceiling. Now I'm just moving it all the way down to the floor. Then I need to make an outer line of this polygon with the help of create shape from selection in edit borders rollout. Alright, now I'm going to attach all the shapes together and add an editable poly to it. Then let's slice this polygon in these areas, cause it's always better if everything in our polygons are connected to each other with segments. Now I need to move it back to where it was and attach it to the ceiling. Okay, as you can see, if I zoom in, you can see all the details, so we didn't miss anything here and I'm totally happy with that. Okay, I'm going to take care of the rest of the furniture. I'm going to roughly place everything into the scene because I possibly will move them around a bit after I start with putting cameras into the scene. Just remember that we don't want everything to be organized and perfect, so try to pivot or move objects around a bit to make it feel more natural and realistic. Alright, everything is ready. Now we can just take care of the lighting, materials, and finally rendering.